Hello, and welcome back to another journey through the colors of life, a series where we explore the remarkable stories, science, and beauty hidden within the colors that paint our world. Today, we turn our attention to the color green, a color that has shaped human history, inspired countless artists, and touches your life in ways you may have never considered. Throughout this video, we'll discover how this color appears in nature, how it affects your body and mind, and how civilizations have treasured it, fought over it, and woven it into culture itself. But before we begin, if you want us to cover a topic you like, leave a comment below. If you enjoy this video, consider giving it a like, and also subscribe to our channel so that you always know when the next video is released. By doing this, you help us not only grow, but continue to make content just like this. Thank you. Whether this is your first time joining us or you've traveled through other colors before, I invite you to settle in, close your eyes if you wish, and simply listen. Let the facts wash over you like gentle waves. There's no need to remember everything. Just allow yourself to drift through the story of green and let it carry you peacefully toward rest. So take a deep breath, let the day fall away, and let's begin our exploration of green together. Chlorophyll, the green that makes life possible. Green is the color of life itself. When you see green in nature, you're almost always seeing chlorophyll, the molecule that allows plants to capture sunlight and convert it into energy through photosynthesis. Without chlorophyll, without green, complex life on Earth would not exist. Chlorophyll absorbs red and blue wavelengths of light, but reflects green, which is why plants appear green to our eyes. Every green leaf is a tiny solar panel, quietly transforming light into sugars and oxygen that sustain entire ecosystems, including you. The oxygen you're breathing right now was produced by green plants. The food you ate today, whether plant or animal, traces back to green photosynthesis. Green is not just a color. Green is the engine of life, the molecular miracle that makes everything else possible. When ancient plants first evolved chlorophyll billions of years ago, they transformed Earth's atmosphere, making it breathable for animals. Green literally created the conditions for your existence. You owe your life to green. The greening of Earth, from barren to verdant. For the first few billion years of Earth's existence, our planet was not green. It was brown, gray, red, the colors of rock and minerals and lifeless ocean. Then, around 2.4 billion years ago, cyanobacteria evolved the ability to photosynthesize, releasing oxygen as a waste product. This great oxygenation event poisoned many organisms that couldn't tolerate oxygen, but it opened the way for new forms of life. Eventually, plants colonized land about 470 million years ago, and Earth began to turn green. Imagine seeing Earth from space across geological time, watching as green slowly spreads across the continents like a living tide, transforming a barren world into the verdant planet we know. That green is conquest, is adaptation, is life claiming territory and refusing to surrender it. Today, green dominates Earth's land surfaces. When astronauts look down, they see blue oceans and green continents. Green is Earth's signature color, the visible proof that this planet harbors life. The human eye and green. Maximum sensitivity. Your eyes can distinguish more shades of green than any other color. This isn't coincidence, it's evolution. Our primate ancestors lived in forests and jungles where survival depended on distinguishing between different plants, spotting ripe fruit among leaves, detecting predators camouflaged in foliage. The peak sensitivity of human vision is in the green-yellow range, around 555 nanometers. Your eyes are literally optimized to see green. You can perceive subtle variations in green that you might miss in other colors, dozens, perhaps hundreds of distinct greens. This sensitivity made sense for forest-dwelling ancestors. Distinguishing between different greens meant finding food, avoiding poison, navigating terrain. Those who saw green better survived better, passed on their genes, and shaped human vision over millions of years. Green is the color you were built to see, the color that shaped your eyes before you were born. Malachite and green minerals, Earth's green treasures. While green plants dominate living nature, green also appears in the mineral kingdom. Malachite, a copper carbonate mineral, forms in rich, banded patterns of green, from pale mint to deep emerald. Ancient Egyptians mined malachite over 4,000 years ago, grinding it into pigment for paint and cosmetics. Cleopatra famously wore malachite eye makeup, both for beauty and because Egyptians believed it had protective and medicinal properties. That green was power, was status, was connection to the divine. Other green minerals include jade, emerald, peridot, and adventurine, each formed through specific geological processes over millions of years. These greens are rare compared to the abundance of red and yellow minerals, making green stones particularly prized. When ancient peoples wanted to create lasting green in art, in decoration, in monuments meant to endure, they turned to these green stones, grinding them into powder, mixing them into paint, setting them into jewelry. Green from the earth itself, permanent and precious. Emeralds, the most precious green. Among green gemstones, emeralds reign supreme. These green beryls, colored by trace amounts of chromium or vanadium, have been treasured for over 4,000 years. The oldest known emerald mines are in Egypt, dating to 1500 BCE. Emeralds were Cleopatra's favorite gem. The Incas and Aztecs prized them long before Spanish conquistadors arrived. The Spanish were so dazzled by Colombian emeralds that they transported tons of them back to Europe, where they adorned crowns and religious artifacts. What makes emeralds special isn't just their green color, but the particular quality of that green, a vivid, saturated, almost glowing green that seems to hold light within it. The finest emeralds can be more valuable per carat than diamonds. Emeralds are also notably included. They contain internal fractures and impurities that gemologists call an emerald's garden. These inclusions are accepted, even celebrated, because truly flawless emeralds are so rare they're suspicious. and emerald's imperfections prove its authenticity. Green in emerald form becomes green as treasure, green as the most coveted color in gemstone form. Green pigments, the challenge of creating green. Throughout history, creating a good, lasting green pigment was surprisingly difficult. While red ochre and yellow ochre existed naturally, true green earth pigments were rare and often dull. Artists and dyers had to mix blue and yellow to get bright greens, or use copper-based pigments that were often unstable or toxic. Verdigris, made from copper exposed to acetic acid, produced a beautiful blue-green but was corrosive and darkened over time. Many medieval paintings have lost their original green, the pigment having degraded or reacted with other materials. Scheele's green, invented in 1775, and Paris green, created in 1814, were both vibrant, affordable copper-based pigments, and both were highly toxic, containing arsenic. Victorian wallpapers in fashionable green could literally poison the people living with them, releasing arsenic dust into the air. The challenge of creating safe, stable, beautiful green pigments lasted until the development of modern synthetic dyes. Green was everywhere in nature, but difficult for humans to capture and preserve. Green as elusive. Green as the color that nature makes easily, but humans struggled to replicate.
These first 6 facts have taken us from the molecular basis of green in chlorophyll to the greening of Earth itself, from human eyes optimized for green to the precious green stones treasured across millennia. Green is life, is evolution, is the color that made our planet what it is. But for now, simply breathe and think about green. The green of leaves outside your window, the green of grass beneath your feet, the green that covers most of Earth, that fills the spaces between buildings, that quietly produces the oxygen you need. Green has been working for you since before you were born, and will continue long after. Breathe deeply, and let's discover what happened next. The green man, ancient symbol of nature. Throughout medieval European architecture, you'll find carved faces peering out from foliage, leaves growing from their mouths, vines forming their hair, vegetation consuming and emerging from their features. These are green men, mysterious figures representing nature's power and the cycle of growth, death, and rebirth. Green men appear in churches, cathedrals, and old buildings across Europe, though their origins likely predate Christianity. They might represent pagan nature spirits, the life force of vegetation, or the wildness that exists beyond human control. That green is untamed, is persistent, is nature refusing to be completely civilized. The green man reminds us that green is not passive. Green grows, spreads, reclaims. Leave a building empty and green will eventually take it back. Vines through windows, roots breaking foundations, moss covering walls. Green is patient conquest, the slow, inevitable return of nature.
Jade, the stone of heaven. In Chinese culture, jade holds a significance far beyond its beauty. For over 5,000 years, jade, particularly the green nephrite variety, has been more precious than gold. The Chinese name for jade, yu, means the fairest of stones, or the royal gem. Jade was believed to have spiritual powers, to connect heaven and earth, to preserve the body after death. Emperors were buried in jade suits, their bodies completely encased in jade tiles, hoping for immortality. Jade symbols represent virtue, purity, wisdom, harmony. Confucius wrote that jade's 11 virtues reflected the qualities of a superior person. The stone's beauty reflected benevolence, its smooth texture reflected knowledge, its hardness reflected courage. Green jade became moral philosophy made tangible. Even today, jade remains deeply important in Chinese culture. Jade jewelry is passed down through generations, given at important life moments, worn as protection and blessing. That green is heritage, is continuity, is values literally worn on the body. The Green Light, Gatsby's Distant Dream. In F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby, the green light at the end of Daisy's dock becomes one of literature's most famous symbols. Gatsby stares at it across the water, that distant green light representing his dreams, his hopes, his longing for the past and future both. The novel's final lines reference the green light. Gatsby believed in the green light, the orgastic future that year by year recedes before us. It eluded us then, but that's no matter. Tomorrow we will run faster, stretch out our arms farther, and one fine morning. That green light captures something universal about green as symbol. Green means go in traffic signals, means permission to proceed, means the future is open. But green is also always slightly out of reach, like the horizon, like spring always coming but never quite arriving, like hope that sustains but never fully satisfies. Green as the color of what might be, green as tomorrow's promise, green as the dream that keeps you moving forward even when you know you might never reach it. Greenbacks, the color of money. In the United States, paper currency is called greenbacks because since 1861, the backs of bills have been printed in green ink. The choice was partly practical. Green ink was abundant, difficult to counterfeit with photography of that era, and relatively fade-resistant. But green became psychologically linked with money in American culture. Green means money in slang. Making green means earning money. Green suggests wealth, commerce, financial success. Other countries use different colors for currency. Euros are various colors, British pounds feature different shades, Japanese yen include blues and purples. But in global culture, partly due to the dollar's dominance, green has become associated with money, with capitalism, with financial systems. This gives green an interesting duality. Green as nature, growth, and life, but also green as commerce, as the artificial economy overlaid on natural systems. Green as both the forest and the market, the garden and the gross domestic product. Green tea, ancient medicine. Green tea has been cultivated and consumed in China for over 4,000 years. Unlike black tea, which is fermented, green tea leaves are heated soon after picking to prevent oxidation, preserving their green color and different chemical properties. Traditional Chinese medicine considers green tea cooling and cleansing, good for alertness and longevity. Modern science has confirmed that green tea contains high levels of antioxidants called catechins, compounds associated with various health benefits. The Japanese tea ceremony elevates green tea to spiritual practice. That careful preparation of matcha, that bright green powdered tea, becomes meditation, becomes art, becomes a way of being fully present in the moment. That green tea is not just beverage, it's ritual, is philosophy, is connection between people. Green tea represents green as health, as tradition, as the color you drink to feel renewed and balanced. Green as medicine from ancient wisdom. The green flash, rare atmospheric phenomenon. Just as the sun sets below the horizon, under very specific atmospheric conditions, a green flash can appear for a second or two, a vivid green spot of light at the sun's upper edge. This phenomenon is real, not myth, though it's rare enough that many people never see it. The green flash happens because Earth's atmosphere acts as a prism, separating sunlight into colors. At sunset, most colors are blocked by the atmosphere's thickness, but green can sometimes penetrate. For that brief moment, green is all that remains of the sun. Sailors considered seeing the green flash good luck, a gift from the ocean. Jules Verne wrote about it. Countless people scan sunsets, hoping to catch that elusive green moment. That flash is green as rarity, green as the color you might see once in your life, green as nature's unexpected grace note at day's end. We've now journeyed through green in human culture, from the green man of ancient Europe to Chinese jade philosophy, from Gatsby's distant light to American greenbacks, from medicinal tea to the rare green flash. Green carries meanings of nature and commerce both, of growth and greed, of health and hope. In our next segment, we'll step back into nature, exploring green animals, green phenomena, the incredible ways living things create and use green in their survival strategies. But for now, simply rest and think about green in culture. The green symbols around you, the green money in your wallet, the green tea you might have tasted, the green light you've waited for. Each green carrying layers of meaning accumulated over centuries. If you're still with us, and if you want us to cover a topic you like, leave a comment below. If you enjoy this video, consider giving it a like. And also subscribe to our channel so that you always know when the next video is released. By doing this, you help us not only grow, but continue to make content just like this. Thank you. Close your eyes if you wish. Breathe slowly, and let's explore green in the living world. Camouflage. Green as invisibility. Green is nature's most common camouflage color. In forests and grasslands, being green means being hidden. Countless insects, reptiles, amphibians, and even some mammals have evolved green coloration to blend into foliage. Stick insects and katydids are masters of green disguise. Shaped like leaves or twigs, colored in perfect greens, they become nearly impossible to spot until they move. Some even have brown edges mimicking leaf decay or fake leaf veins running across their bodies. Green tree pythons, emerald tree boas, green mambas, these snakes disappear into jungle canopy. Green anoles change shade to match their environment. Praying mantises wait motionless on leaves, green hunters invisible until they strike. This green is survival. Green as the color that lets you hide from predators or wait unseen for prey. Green as the coat that nature provides to those who live among leaves. Being green in a green world means being safe, being patient, being present, but unseen. Tree frogs, jewel-toned green. Many tree frogs display brilliant green coloration, not for camouflage, but as an honest signal of health. The brighter and more vivid the green, the healthier the frog. That green comes from a combination of pigments and structural coloration working together. Red-eyed tree frogs of Central America show stunning lime green bodies with blue and yellow flanks, orange feet, and those distinctive red eyes. When threatened, they flash their bright colors in a display called startle coloration, hopefully scaring predators long enough to escape. Green tree frogs absorb blue and UV light, then reflect green wavelengths. Some species can change their shade of green depending on temperature, humidity, and mood. During the day, they might be bright green. At night, they turn darker, more muted. That green is adaptation, is communication, is life responding to environment with color. Green as dynamic, as changeable, as alive. Green sea turtles, ancient green mariners. Green sea turtles, one of the largest sea turtle species, are named not for their shells, which are typically brown or olive, but for the green color of their fat. This green comes from their vegetarian diet of seagrass and algae. They're the only sea turtles that are primarily herbivorous as adults. These ancient reptiles have been swimming Earth's oceans for over 100 million years, outliving the dinosaurs. They can weigh over 400 pounds and live more than 80 years. Female green sea turtles return to the same beaches where they were born to lay their own eggs, navigating thousands of miles with mysterious precision. That internal green, invisible until examined, reveals their dietary choice. Green from eating green. Green as the color of peaceful herbivory in the ocean. Green sea turtles are living proof that you are what you eat. Their flesh turns green from a lifetime of consuming algae and seagrass. The green iridescence of beetles. Many beetles display metallic green iridescence that seems to shift and shimmer as they move. This isn't pigment, it's structural color, created by microscopic layers in their exoskeletons that reflect and interfere with light waves. Tiger beetles flash green and gold as they dash across ground. Jewel scarabs gleam emerald. Christmas beetles in Australia shine bright green, appearing by the thousands during summer holidays. Japanese beetles, though garden pests, are undeniably beautiful with their metallic green heads and copper-bronze wings. This iridescent green serves various purposes, attracting mates, confusing predators, or simply being a side effect of the exoskeleton structure. That green doesn't fade or wear away because it's not color applied to the surface, it's color created by the surface's architecture. Green as light made solid, green as physics transformed into beauty, green that changes depending on angle and illumination, nature creating green through engineering rather than chemistry. Moss, the ancient green carpet. Mosses are among Earth's oldest land plants, existing for over 400 million years. These simple plants lack true roots, stems, or flowers, yet they've successfully colonized nearly every terrestrial environment, from Arctic tundra to tropical rainforests, from tree bark to bare rock. Moss creates its own microclimate, holding moisture like a sponge, providing habitat for countless tiny creatures. A single cushion of moss can contain thousands of microscopic animals, tardigrades, rotifers, nematodes, all living in the water held between moss leaves. That soft green carpet you see on forest floors, on stones, on old walls, it's ancient, it's resilient. It's been quietly turning sunlight into life before flowers existed. Moss doesn't compete aggressively. It simply persists, growing slowly, covering surfaces with green patience. Walking on moss feels like living carpet. That green is soft, is silent, is the plant world's gentle answer to harsh surfaces. Moss green is peace, is stillness, is nature taking its time. Northern Lights, green aurora dancing. The aurora borealis, or northern lights, most commonly appears green. This happens when solar wind particles collide with oxygen atoms in Earth's atmosphere at altitudes between 100 and 150 miles up. Those excited oxygen atoms emit light at a wavelength of 557.7 nanometers, a yellow-green that appears primarily green to human eyes. The green aurora can fill the entire sky with dancing curtains of light, rippling and pulsing like living things. People who witness strong auroras describe them as breathtaking, spiritual experiences, the sky itself becoming green fire, green waves, green rivers of light. Indigenous peoples of the Arctic have various interpretations of the aurora. Some see them as spirits dancing, others as ancestors playing ball with a walrus skull, others as bridges between worlds. That green light connects Earth to space, makes visible the invisible forces protecting our planet. Green aurora is the atmosphere glowing, is Earth's magnetic field made visible, is the planet breathing light. Green as the color of the boundary between Earth and space. We've explored green in nature, from camouflage to tree frogs, from ancient sea turtles to iridescent beetles, from patient moss to dancing auroras. Nature uses green for hiding and displaying, for surviving and thriving, for covering the earth and lighting the sky. In our next segment, we'll turn to psychology. How green affects your mind, your mood, your body. What does green do to you? How does this color of growth and renewal shape human experience? But for now, simply breathe and think about the green in nature. The frog on a leaf, the moss on a stone, the aurora in the northern sky. Each green serving purpose, each green revealing nature's endless creativity with this single color. Green and calm, the restful color. Green is consistently rated as one of the most calming, restful colors. Studies show that being in green environments or even looking at green colors can reduce stress, lower blood pressure, and promote relaxation. Hospitals use green in recovery rooms and waiting areas for exactly this reason. This calming effect likely has evolutionary roots. Green environments meant water, food, safety for our ancestors. Lush green landscapes signal that resources are abundant, that survival is easier here. Your nervous system still responds to green with a subtle sense of, this place is good, you can relax. Unlike red, which activates the sympathetic nervous system, green is neutral, neither activating nor sedating, but balanced. Green is the color of equilibrium, of homeostasis, of systems in balance. When you look at green, your body interprets it as things are okay. This is why so many meditation apps use green, why nature therapy is effective, why simply looking at trees outside a window can improve recovery from illness. Green heals partly through the psychological response it triggers. Green as permission to rest. Green and concentration, the focus color. While green calms, it also enhances concentration and productivity. Studies show that people working in green environments or taking breaks to look at green spaces perform better on tasks requiring sustained attention. This seems paradoxical. How can green be both relaxing and focusing? The answer lies in green's balanced nature. Green doesn't overstimulate like red or suppress activity like blue can. Instead, green provides a neutral, comfortable background that allows your mind to work without distraction. The green exercise effect shows that physical activity in green natural settings provides greater psychological benefits than the same exercise indoors. That green amplifies the positive effects, making workouts more restorative and sustainable. Office designers now incorporate green, plants, green walls, views of nature, specifically to improve employee well-being and productivity. Green as the color that lets you work better, precisely because it doesn't demand anything from you. Green is associated with growth, renewal, and new beginnings. When people are asked to create or brainstorm in green environments, they often report feeling more permission to explore ideas, more willingness to try novel approaches. This might connect to green's association with spring, with fresh growth, with plants pushing up through soil toward light. Green says, things can grow here. New life is possible. That psychological association translates into creative thinking. Green is also associated with balance and harmony, which can help in creative problem solving. When you need to find the just right solution, the balanced answer, green environments can facilitate that middle way thinking. Many creative spaces incorporate green. Artist studios with plants, writing rooms overlooking gardens, design offices with living walls. Green as the color that nurtures ideas the way soil nurtures seeds, providing the right conditions for growth without forcing or directing it. Green and envy, the dark side. Not all green associations are positive. Green with envy is a phrase dating back centuries. Shakespeare wrote about the green-eyed monster of jealousy in Othello. In English-speaking cultures, green became linked with envy, jealousy, and covetousness. This association might stem from the medieval theory of humors, where illness caused by bile produced a greenish complexion, or from the green tinge that nausea can seemingly bring to the face. Green as sickness, as the color of negative emotions made visible. Interestingly, this association is culturally specific. In many cultures, green has no connection to envy whatsoever. It's a reminder that color meanings are learned, not inherent. What green means depends entirely on the stories your culture tells about it. Even in English-speaking cultures, green's association with envy is weakening. Younger generations tend to associate green more with nature and environmentalism than with jealousy. Color meanings shift across time as well as geography. Green rooms. Waiting in green. In theaters and television studios, the room where performers wait before going on stage is called the green room. The origin of this term is debated. Some say it comes from London theatres, where these rooms had green walls. Others trace it to Elizabethan times, when actors waited in the green, grassy area before performances. Regardless of origin, the association stuck. Green rooms became spaces of anticipation, preparation, nervous energy transformed into readiness. That green is the color of waiting, of being almost ready, of the moment before stepping into the spotlight. The name persists even when the rooms aren't painted green anymore. "I'll meet you in the green room" is universal theater language. Green as the backstage color, green as preparation, green as the space between private and public performance. Green spaces and mental health. Urban planning research consistently shows that access to green spaces, parks, gardens, tree-lined streets significantly impacts mental health. People living near green spaces report lower rates of depression, anxiety, and stress-related illness. Children who play in green spaces show better attention spans and impulse control. Hospital patients with views of trees recover faster than those facing brick walls. Simply spending 20 minutes in a park can improve mood for hours afterward. This isn't just aesthetic preference, it's measurable health impact. Green space access is now recognized as a public health issue, as important as clean water or safe housing. Cities are adding parks, creating green corridors, planting street trees specifically to improve population health. The Japanese practice of Shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing, formalizes this, deliberately spending time in forests, breathing the air, experiencing the green as a health practice. That green is medicine, is therapy, is healing without pills or procedures. Green as essential human need. Green as the color that keeps you sane in urban environments. We've explored how green affects your mind and body, calming you while helping you focus, nurturing creativity while sometimes representing envy, providing backstage waiting rooms and urban healing spaces. Green works on you constantly, shaping mood and health in ways you rarely consciously notice. From psychology, we now turn to expression, to the realm where green becomes art. How have painters worked with green? What masterpieces celebrate this color? How has green shaped visual culture and inspired human creativity? Let's explore green through the eyes of artists. Relax, close your eyes if you wish, and discover green as art. Monet's Water Lilies, Green Reflections. Claude Monet spent the last 30 years of his life painting his garden at Giverny, creating hundreds of paintings of water lilies floating on green water beneath green willows. These paintings are meditations on green, countless shades of green, reflecting, merging, dissolving into each other. Monet's greens range from deep olive to bright lime, from blue-green to yellow-green. He captured how green changes with light, with season, with time of day. His water lily paintings aren't really about flowers, they're about green water as mirror, as surface, as depth, as atmosphere. The largest water lily paintings cover entire walls, surrounding viewers with green. Standing before them, you're immersed in Monet's garden, in his green vision. That green is peaceful, is timeless, is the color of a life spent observing nature with devoted attention. Monet went nearly blind in his later years, cataracts changing how he perceived color, yet he continued painting those greens from memory and feeling, creating some of his most abstract, most powerful works, despite failing sight.
The Green Christ, Gauguin's mystical vision. Paul Gauguin, seeking escape from industrial Paris, traveled to Brittany and later Tahiti, where he painted in bold, unconventional colors. His painting, The Green Christ, 1889, shows a crucifixion scene with Christ's body rendered in vivid green. This wasn't realism, it was symbolism. Gauguin used color emotionally, spiritually, not to represent what he saw, but what he felt. That green Christ is suffering, is life even in death, is the color of growth emerging from sacrifice. Gauguin's greens in his Tahitian paintings are lush, tropical, dreamlike. He painted green skin, green shadows, green that doesn't exist in nature but feels more true than naturalistic color. Green as emotion, green as the artist's inner vision made visible. His radical use of color influenced entire movements: Fauvism, Expressionism, modern art's liberation from realistic color. Green didn't have to be grass and leaves. Green could be anything the artist needed it to be. The Matrix, digital green. The Matrix films, starting in 1999, created one of cinema's most distinctive color palettes. Scenes in the Matrix simulation tinted with green, suggesting the artificial, computer-generated reality of that reality. That green became synonymous with digital worlds, with code, with virtual existence. The green, digital rain of falling code characters became iconic. Green symbols cascading down black screens, representing the underlying structure of the simulated world. That green suggests the ones and zeros, the binary code, the electronic nature of reality. Since the Matrix, green tints and green computer interfaces have been widely used in science fiction to signal digital environments, hacking scenes, virtual realities. Green became the color of the cyber world, of human-computer interaction, of existence mediated through technology. Interesting how green, the color most associated with natural life, became the color of artificial reality. Green as nature's opposite, green as the manufactured, the coded, the simulated world. Green in Islamic art and architecture. In Islamic tradition, green holds special significance. Green is associated with paradise, with life, with the Prophet Muhammad. The Quran describes paradise with green cushions, green garments, and abundant greenery. Islamic architecture often features green elements: green tiled domes, green minarets, green decorative calligraphy. The Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem features green ceramic tiles. Many mosques incorporate green in their color schemes, creating spaces that evoke divine gardens. Green became a color of spiritual authority and blessing.
In some traditions, only descendants of the prophet could wear green. Green flags and green turbans indicated religious leadership. That green is sacred, is heavenly, is the color of eternal gardens promised to the faithful. Islamic gardens themselves follow paradise garden designs, geometric layouts with water features, fruit trees, flowers, creating earthly versions of the green paradise described in Scripture. Green as aspiration, green as promise, green as what awaits. Art Nouveau, organic green curves. The Art Nouveau movement of the late 1800s and early 1900s embraced green as essential to its aesthetic. Art Nouveau celebrated organic forms, flowing plant tendrils, vine motifs, leaves and flowers integrated into architecture, furniture, jewelry, posters. Artists like Alphonse Mucha created posters featuring women surrounded by green vines and foliage. Architects like Antoni Gaudí incorporated plant-like forms and green tiles into buildings. The movement's influence persists. Organic architecture, biophilic design, green building practices all echo Art Nouveau's belief that human spaces should incorporate natural forms and colors, especially green. Rothko's green paintings, emotional landscapes. Abstract expressionist Mark Rothko created some paintings that feature large fields of green, soft-edged rectangles of green floating on canvas, subtle variations in shade creating depth and emotion without representing anything specific. Rothko believed his paintings were about basic human emotions, and his greens convey contemplation, balance, sometimes melancholy or hope. Standing before a large Rothko green painting, viewers report feeling absorbed, meditative, experiencing emotion that defies verbal description. His greens aren't bright or cheerful. They're complex, layered, sometimes murky. They're the green of deep water, of ancient forests, of spaces between definitions. Rothko green is ambiguous, refusing simple interpretation. Like Monet, Rothko used green to create immersive experiences. But where Monet's greens reference gardens and water, Rothko's greens reference only themselves, green as pure color, pure feeling, pure presence. We've journeyed through green in art and expression, from Monet's garden meditations to Gauguin's mystical visions, from the Matrix's digital rain to Islamic sacred spaces, from Art Nouveau's organic curves to Rothko's emotional fields. Artists use green to capture nature, to symbolize the digital, to evoke the sacred, to express what words cannot. In our next segment, we'll explore green in science and technology, how green appears in chemistry, in biology, in the cutting edge of human understanding, green where knowledge and wonder meet. But for now, simply breathe and think about the greens you've seen in art, the paintings that moved you, the films where green created atmosphere. Green doesn't just appear in art. Green shapes meaning, creates mood, carries messages beyond language. If you're still with us, and if you want us to cover a topic you like, leave a comment below. If you enjoy this video, consider giving it a like. And also subscribe to our channel so that you always know when the next video is released. By doing this, you help us not only grow, but continue to make content just like this. Thank you. Photosynthesis, the green equation. Photosynthesis is arguably the most important chemical reaction on Earth. The equation is beautifully simple. Carbon dioxide plus water plus sunlight equals glucose plus oxygen. That green chlorophyll is the catalyst that makes it all possible. Inside each green leaf, millions of chloroplasts perform this reaction continuously during daylight hours. They capture photons from the sun, split water molecules, rearrange atoms, and create the sugars that fuel all plant growth. The oxygen they release is waste to the plant, but essential for you. Every breath you take, every bite of food you eat, traces back to this green reaction. Photosynthesis creates approximately 100 billion tons of biomass annually. That green process is literally building the living world, molecule by molecule, powered by sunlight. Scientists estimate that photosynthesis has been occurring for at least 3.5 billion years. That's billions upon billions of green leaves across countless generations, quietly transforming energy and matter. Green as the most productive chemical process in Earth's history. Bioluminescent green, glowing life. While fireflies produce yellow-green light, many marine organisms create pure green bioluminescence. Green fluorescent protein, or GFP, discovered in jellyfish, revolutionized biological research and earned its discoverers the Nobel Prize. GFP glows bright green when exposed to blue or ultraviolet light. Scientists can attach this protein to other proteins in living cells, making them glow green and allowing researchers to watch biological processes in real time. You can literally see genes being expressed, cells dividing, proteins moving, all lit up in green. This discovery transformed biology. Researchers created glowing green mice, glowing green fish, glowing green cells, not for spectacle, but to understand life at molecular levels. That green glow became a window into processes previously invisible. Green fluorescent protein is now one of the most widely used tools in biological research. Medical advances, genetic understanding, disease treatments, all enabled partly by green glowing jellyfish protein. Green light revealing life's deepest secrets. Absinthe, the green fairy. Absinthe, the legendary spirit, earned the nickname the Green Fairy for its distinctive green color and its reputation for causing unusual effects. Traditional absinthe gets its green from herbs, primarily wormwood, anise, and fennel. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, absinthe was blamed for madness, violence, and social decay. Artists and writers famously drank it: Van Gogh, Toulouse-Lautrec, Oscar Wilde, Ernest Hemingway. That green drink became associated with bohemian culture, with creativity and excess both. The green was natural, from chlorophyll in the herbs, but absinthe's reputation was partly exaggerated. The alleged madness-inducing effects were largely from the high alcohol content and poor quality additives, not from wormwood itself. Modern research has largely debunked the mythology. Still, that green fairy persists in cultural imagination. Green as intoxication, as altered perception, as the color of substance that changes consciousness. Green as the drink of artists and poets, whether the legends were true or not. Copper patina, green age. When copper is exposed to air and moisture over years, it develops a green patina, a layer of copper carbonate that protects the metal beneath. This is why the Statue of Liberty is green. She was originally copper-colored, but decades of weathering turned her the iconic green we know today. That green patina forms naturally on copper roofs, copper domes, copper sculptures worldwide. It's a green that signifies age, endurance, the passage of time. New copper is reddish-brown, old copper is green. The green tells you this has been here a while, has weathered storms, has persisted. The chemistry is complex. Copper reacting with oxygen, carbon dioxide, and water, forming various copper compounds that collectively appear green. That green is oxidation, is chemical transformation, is the metal adapting to its environment. Green patina now is often desirable. Builders sometimes artificially age copper to get that green faster, because the green signals authenticity, history, connection to tradition. Green as the color of honorable aging.
Algae, green oxygen factories. Microscopic green algae in oceans and lakes produce a significant portion of Earth's oxygen. Some estimates suggest marine algae produce 50 to 80% of atmospheric oxygen. These tiny green organisms, often single-celled, are collectively more important for oxygen production than all forests combined. Algae blooms can turn entire bodies of water bright green. Sometimes these blooms are toxic, but often they're simply population explosions when nutrients and light conditions are right. That green spreading across water is life multiplying exponentially, photosynthesis happening on massive scales. Scientists are exploring using algae for biofuel production, carbon capture, and sustainable food sources. Spirulina and chlorella, both green algae, are sold as health supplements. That green is potential, the possibility of sustainable futures, of carbon-neutral fuels, of feeding growing populations. Algae are ancient, simple, and extraordinarily successful. They survived mass extinctions, adapted to countless environments, and continue producing the oxygen you breathe. Green at its most fundamental, most essential, most quietly world-saving. Radioactive green, glowing danger. In popular culture, radioactive materials are depicted as glowing green ooze or green crystals. This is mostly fiction. Actual radioactive materials rarely glow, and when they do, it's usually blue, like Cherenkov radiation in nuclear reactors. But some radium compounds do glow greenish when mixed with phosphorescent materials. In the early 1900s, watch dials were painted with radium mixed with zinc sulfide, creating glow-in-the-dark numbers that were distinctly green.
Factory workers, mostly women, painted these dials with tiny brushes, often licking the brushes to keep fine points, and suffered terrible radiation poisoning. So there is a historical connection between green and radioactivity, though it's been exaggerated in fiction. That green became shorthand for radioactive danger in visual media, even though it's not scientifically accurate. Green as danger, green as the glow of something that shouldn't glow, green as warning of invisible threat. Fiction creating a green that now shapes how we imagine the unseen hazards of radiation. We've explored green in science, from photosynthesis building the living world to fluorescent proteins revealing life's secrets, from the green fairy of absinthe to copper aging green, from oxygen-producing algae to radioactive cultural mythology. Green appears throughout scientific understanding, revealing how life works and how materials transform. In our next segment, we'll return to everyday life, to the green you encounter without thinking about it. Green in your daily routine, on your streets, in the systems designed to keep you safe and organized. How green shapes the practical world around you. But for now, simply rest, breathe slowly, and think about green in science. The chemical reactions in leaves, the glowing proteins in research labs, the patina on old copper, the algae producing oxygen, each green revealing something about how nature works, how chemistry creates color, how life sustains itself. Traffic lights. Green means go. In traffic signals worldwide, green means permission to proceed. This convention dates back to the 1800s when railroads used green flags and lights to indicate all clear or safe to go. The color choice was partly practical. Green light was visible and distinct from red. That green light is freedom, is movement, is being allowed to continue your journey. When you're waiting at a red light, watching for green, that color change represents release. Green as permission, green as now you can move. Interestingly, in Japan, the go signal is called ao, blue, even though it's green. This reflects how Japanese traditionally grouped blue and green together as one color category. The physical light is green, but the cultural language calls it blue, a reminder that color categories vary across cultures. Green in traffic signals is trust, trusting that when you see green, others see red, that the system coordinates movement, that green protects you by controlling others. Green as social contract made visible. The green movement, environmentalism's color. Starting in the 1970s, environmental activism adopted green as its symbolic color. Green parties, Greenpeace, Going Green, green energy, green products. Green became shorthand for environmental consciousness and ecological responsibility. This association makes perfect sense. Green is nature's color, the color of plants and forests and life. Choosing green means choosing to protect nature, to consider ecological impact, to value sustainability over exploitation. The green movement transformed green from just a color into a political and lifestyle statement. Buying a green product means more than its color. It means supporting environmental values. Having a green thumb means you're good with plants, but being green means you care about the planet. Green as movement, green as the color of the future humans hope to create.
Green as resistance to pollution and destruction. Green claiming political meaning, becoming activism. Dollar bills and green. We discussed American greenbacks earlier, but it's worth noting that green's association with money is culturally specific, yet globally influential. In many countries, money isn't green, yet green has become slang for money even in places where currency is other colors. This partly reflects American economic influence, American movies and media spreading green as money into global consciousness. But it also reflects green's symbolic associations. Green as growth, as abundance, as things multiplying and increasing. Making green, earning green. Green as verb and noun both meaning financial success. Green became the color of capitalism, of market growth, of economic prosperity measured in expanding green numbers. This creates interesting tension, green as environmentalism versus green as economic growth, two often opposed values sharing the same color. Green trying to be both forest preservation and financial expansion, both ecology and economy. Green screens, Hollywood's magic. In film and television production, green screens allow actors to be filmed against bright green backgrounds that can later be digitally replaced with any environment. This chroma key technique works because green is least like human skin tones, making it easier to separate actors from background. That green you never see in the final product is essential to movie magic. Actors perform against featureless green walls, pretending to interact with creatures and environments that don't exist yet. That green is possibility, is the blank canvas that becomes anything. Green screens revolutionized filmmaking, making fantastical worlds affordable and practical. Superhero movies, space operas, fantasy epics all depend on green screen technology. That green is imagination's placeholder, the color that becomes invisible so other colors can appear. Weather forecasters stand before green screens pointing at weather patterns they can't actually see. That green requires trust, imagination, pointing at nothing and believing something is there. Lawn green, the cultural obsession. In many Western countries, particularly America, the perfect green lawn became a cultural obsession. Homeowners spend billions annually on fertilizers, pesticides, water, and equipment to maintain uniform green grass, grass that often isn't native to their region and requires intensive resource use. This lawn culture has roots in European aristocracy, where large expanses of maintained grass demonstrated wealth. You had land you didn't need for food production, resources to maintain purely decorative space. That green lawn was status symbol, proof of abundance. Today, the environmental costs of lawn culture are increasingly questioned. Green lawns in deserts require enormous water. Lawn chemicals pollute waterways. Gas-powered mowers contribute emissions. That perfect green comes at a high environmental price. Alternatives are emerging: native plant gardens, clover lawns, reduced mowing movements. But the cultural association remains. Green lawn means good homeowner, means care and respectability, means belonging to the neighborhood. Green as conformity, green as the color you're expected to maintain, green as social pressure made botanical. Walk through any store and notice how many products use green packaging to suggest environmental friendliness, natural ingredients, or health benefits. This greenwashing uses color psychology to imply ecological virtue, whether deserved or not. Green on packaging suggests this is natural, this is healthy, this is environmentally responsible. Companies know consumers associate green with these values, so they add green to packaging regardless of actual environmental impact. Legitimate green products exist alongside misleading ones, making green packaging simultaneously helpful and confusing. That green label might mean genuinely sustainable practices, or it might just mean the marketing team chose green. This dilutes green's meaning. When everything claims to be green, green loses specificity. Yet consumers still respond to green packaging, still trust green more than other colors, still believe that green equals natural and good. Green as marketing tool, green as the color companies use to sell you things by promising alignment with your values, green as both authentic commitment and cynical manipulation. We've explored green in everyday modern life, from traffic signals giving permission to environmental movements demanding change, from green screens creating movie magic to green lawns requiring resources, from money's green to packaging's green promises. Green serves practical purposes while carrying symbolic weight, organizing traffic while claiming political meaning. If you're still with us, and if you want us to cover a topic you like, leave a comment below. If you enjoy this video, consider giving it a like. And also subscribe to our channel so that you always know when the next video is released. By doing this, you help us not only grow, but continue to make content just like this. Thank you. In our next segment, we'll look at green in language and culture, green idioms, green meanings, green traditions from around the world, how green appears in the way we speak and think. But for now, simply breathe and think about the green objects in your daily life, the traffic light you wait for, the grass you walk past, the green logo on a product, each green serving multiple purposes, each green carrying more meaning than you usually notice.
Green with envy, the jealous color. We explored this briefly before, but it's worth examining deeper. The phrase green with envy links green to jealousy in English. Shakespeare popularized this in multiple plays: green-eyed jealousy, green-eyed monster, making green the color of covetousness. This might connect to sickness. People feeling nauseated sometimes appear greenish, or to the medieval humoral theory where jealousy was associated with excess bile, which was thought to make skin take on a greenish tinge. What's interesting is how this association persists despite green's generally positive meanings. You can simultaneously think of green as nature, growth, and renewal, while also using green with envy without contradiction. Language holds multiple meanings simultaneously. And remember, this is culturally specific. In many cultures, green has no connection to envy whatsoever. The green-eyed monster would be meaningless in contexts where green means luck, prosperity, or spiritual blessing. Greenhorn and green behind the ears.
When someone is inexperienced or naive, English calls them a greenhorn or says they're green behind the ears. These phrases liken inexperience to unripeness, like green fruit that hasn't matured yet, like green wood that hasn't seasoned. A greenhorn was originally an animal with young green horns, not yet fully grown. The term transferred to people, particularly immigrants and inexperienced workers. Being green meant being fresh, new, not yet hardened by experience. Green behind the ears suggests the delicate, vulnerable spots where animals and people might show their youth. That green is tender, is unformed, is not yet ready for the full harshness of the world. These phrases are generally gentle rather than harsh. Being green is temporary, something everyone passes through. Green as the necessary stage before maturity. Green as promising but not yet proven. The grass is always greener on the other side of the fence is a proverb about how people tend to believe others have it better, that what you don't have is more appealing than what you do. That green is longing, is dissatisfaction, is always looking elsewhere. This saying captures something profound about human nature. We often fail to appreciate our own circumstances while envying others. The grass looks greener elsewhere, partly because we're not seeing it closely, not noticing its brown patches, not responsible for maintaining it. The phrase reminds us that green is relative, is perception, is partly about where you're standing and what you're comparing to. Your own grass might be exactly as green, you've just stopped noticing. There's wisdom in this saying. Sometimes the solution isn't to jump the fence, but to water your own grass, tend your own garden, appreciate the green you already have. Getting the green light, permission granted. When a project receives approval, we say it got the green light. This comes directly from traffic signals. Green means permission to proceed, so getting the green light means receiving authorization to move forward. This phrase has spread from film production, where green-lighting a movie means approving its production, into general business and life language. Waiting for the green light means awaiting approval, hoping for permission, ready to begin, but needing authorization first. Green as gateway, green as the color that opens possibilities, green as someone saying, yes, you can do this now. That green light is always granted by someone else. You can't give yourself the green light in the full sense. Green is permission from external authority. Green thumb, the gift of growing. Someone with a green thumb has a natural talent for growing plants. This phrase suggests that their very touch makes things green, makes plants thrive. It's a lovely image. Fingers that bring life, hands that understand what plants need. Interestingly, the British say green fingers instead. Same concept, slightly different body part. But both capture this idea that some people have an almost magical ability to make things grow. Is it really magic? No, it's attention, understanding of plant needs, a willingness to observe and adjust. But calling it a green thumb acknowledges that it seems like a gift, like some people just naturally connect with growing things. Green thumb suggests that green is contagious, that you can transfer green to other living things, that your relationship with green is reciprocal. You care for plants, and they respond by becoming more green. Giving someone the green. Golf culture. In golf, The green is the carefully maintained area around the hole. Giving someone the green means conceding that they can count their ball as holed without actually putting it in, usually when it's very close. Golf culture is obsessed with the green, the quality of the green, the speed of the green, how the green breaks. Groundskeepers spend countless hours maintaining that perfect green surface. The green is where precision matters most, where the game is won or lost. That green is perfection pursued, is nature manicured to exacting standards, is grass as athletic surface. The green must be smooth, consistent, predictable. Nature tamed into reliability. Golf's green represents a particular relationship with green, not wilderness or natural growth, but cultivated, controlled, maintained at great effort and expense. Green as human achievement over nature, rather than nature itself. We've explored green in language and culture. From envy and inexperience to greener grass and green lights, from green thumbs to green greens. Green in our expressions reveals how we think about growth, permission, jealousy, skill, and comparison. Green is never just describing color, it's carrying meaning, telling stories, encoding values. In our next segment, we'll look at more green wonders and curiosities, the strange, the surprising, the green things that delight and puzzle. Green at its most unusual and fascinating. But for now, simply rest and notice how green appears in your own speech and thought. The phrases you use without thinking. The green metaphors that shape how you describe experience. Green isn't just what you see, it's how you think and speak about the world. Green eggs. Not just Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss made green eggs and ham famous, but green eggs actually exist. Some chicken breeds, like Aracanas and Americanas, lay eggs with blue or green shells. The color comes from a pigment called O-cyanin, deposited during egg formation. These eggs are perfectly edible, nutritionally identical to white or brown eggs. The green is just shell color, doesn't affect the egg inside. But that green shell surprises people expecting conventional brown or white. Green as nature's variation. Green as a reminder that chickens come in diverse varieties. The phrase green eggs and ham has become cultural shorthand for trying new things, being open to experiences that seem strange at first. Sam I Am's persistence in the story teaches acceptance. Don't judge the green eggs until you've tried them. Green eggs as a metaphor for keeping an open mind, for not letting unusual appearances prevent you from discovering something good. The Green Children of Woolpit. Medieval legend tells of two children with green skin who appeared in the village of Woolpit, England in the 12th century. They spoke an unknown language, would only eat green beans initially, and claimed to come from an underground land where everything was green twilight. Gradually, they learned English and adapted to normal food. Their green skin color faded, though the girl lived into adulthood. Was this story true?
Probably not, but it persists as one of history's strangest green mysteries. Theories range from the mundane, malnourished children with chlorosis causing greenish skin, to the fantastical, visitors from parallel dimensions. Most likely, it's folklore embellished over centuries of retelling. But the story endures because green people feel wrong, impossible, fascinating. Green skin is alien, is other, is not quite human. That green is boundary crossing, is the color of the strange visitors, the unexplained phenomena. Green potatoes. Toxic warning. When potatoes are exposed to light, they produce chlorophyll and turn green. This green isn't just cosmetic, it accompanies increased production of solanine, a toxic glycoalkaloid that can cause nausea, headaches, and worse if consumed in quantity. That green is warning, nature's way of saying this potato has been stressed, has produced defense chemicals, should not be eaten. The green itself isn't toxic, but it signals that toxic compounds are present. You should always cut away green portions of potatoes before eating, or discard very green potatoes entirely. That green is green gone wrong, not the healthy green of growth, but the defensive green of chemical warfare against potential predators. Green as danger signal. Green as the color that says, I am not food, I am defended, leave me alone. Even in vegetables, green can mean warning. Green flash meteorites, rare celestial green. When meteorites enter Earth's atmosphere, they typically glow white or yellow as friction heats them, but occasionally a meteorite rich in nickel will produce a vivid green flash as it burns. This green comes from excited nickel atoms emitting light at specific wavelengths. Witnessing a green meteor is rare and spectacular, a streak of green fire across the night sky, lasting only seconds. Meteor watchers specifically hope for green ones, knowing they're uncommon. That green is cosmic, is iron and nickel from asteroids forged in ancient stellar furnaces, now burning green as they fall through our atmosphere. Green as space made visible, green as the universe showing its composition through color. Green honey, the bee's strange harvest. Occasionally, beekeepers discover their bees have produced green honey. This happens when bees collect from unusual sources. In France, bees near an M&M's factory produced blue and green honey after feeding on sugary waste containing food coloring. In other cases, green honey comes from honeydew, a substance secreted by aphids rather than flower nectar, combined with certain plant sources. The green is safe to eat, but unusual, unsettling. Honey should be golden, and green honey feels wrong. Beekeepers usually can't sell green honey because consumers don't trust it. That green is too strange, too far from expectations. Even though it's harmless, green honey is honey that failed to be honey-colored, that broke the rules of what honey should look like. Green is the color that appears where it shouldn't, that creates unease simply by being in the wrong context. Verdigris, green copper tears. Verdigris is the green copper compound that forms when copper reacts with acetic acid. Historically, it was made by exposing copper plates to wine or vinegar vapor. That green patina was collected and used as pigment in paintings. Artists used verdigris for centuries despite its instability and toxicity. The color was so vibrant, so valuable that they accepted its flaws. In many old paintings, greens have darkened or changed color because verdigris reacted with other pigments or with air over centuries. That green was beautiful but temporary, was color that couldn't last, was artistic compromise between achieving desired color and ensuring longevity. Verdigris green is the color of decay, of copper weathering, of time made visible through chemical transformation. Green as change, as the visible process of materials reacting with their environment. We've explored green's curiosities and surprises, from green eggs and medieval legends to toxic potatoes and meteor flashes, from strange honey to ancient copper pigments. Green surprises, appears in unexpected places, creates wonder and sometimes wariness. In our final segment, we'll bring everything together, reflecting on what green means in your life, in our shared world, in the future. We'll complete our journey through 100 facts about this remarkable color. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and let's finish this story of green. Avocados, green nutrition. Avocados, with their green flesh and green skin when unripe, have become cultural icons of healthy eating. That green contains healthy fats, vitamins, minerals, nutrition packed into creamy green fruit. The avocado's journey from Central American specialty to global phenomenon happened remarkably quickly. Now avocado toast, guacamole, and avocado smoothies are ubiquitous. That green became aspirational, became the color of wellness culture, became Instagram-worthy nutrition. But avocados also represent environmental complexity. They require enormous amounts of water. Avocado demand has driven deforestation and created social issues in growing regions. That green nutrition comes with green costs, a reminder that even healthy green choices have impacts. Green as complicated, green as never simple, green as requiring thought about consequences beyond the immediate plate. Mint, green freshness. Mint, whether peppermint or spearmint, is strongly associated with freshness, with clean, with cooling sensation. The green of mint leaves became the color of freshness. Mint green toothpaste, mint green packaging for fresh products. That cooling sensation comes from menthol, which triggers cold-sensitive receptors in your mouth. Mint doesn't actually lower temperature, it just makes your brain think it does. That green freshness is partly illusion, partly real chemical effect. Mint has been used for thousands of years. Ancient Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans all valued it. That green taste is ancient, is refreshment that spans civilizations. Mint green became shorthand for clean, for breath freshened, for palate cleansed. Green as renewal of the senses, green as the taste that wakes you up, green as freshness made flavor. Climbing green. Ivy, that persistent climbing plant, has symbolized many things across cultures: fidelity, eternity, friendship.
It grows up walls, covering buildings in green, transforming brick and stone into living surfaces. Ivy League universities got their name from the ivy growing on their old buildings, that green suggesting tradition, age, establishment. Ivy-covered walls signal history, permanence, institutions that have existed long enough for plants to claim them. But ivy is also controversial. It can damage buildings, harbor pests, crowd out other plants. That climbing green is beautiful and destructive both, depending on perspective and context. Ivy represents green's persistence, green's refusal to be controlled, green's slow conquest of human structures. Leave any building alone long enough, and green will eventually claim it. Shamrocks, Irish green. The shamrock, Ireland's symbol, is a small green plant, likely young clover, associated with St. Patrick and Irish identity. Legend says St. Patrick used the three-leafed shamrock to explain the Christian Trinity. That green became Irish green, became the color of an entire nation's identity. St. Patrick's Day celebrations worldwide are seas of green. Green clothing, green beer, green rivers. Chicago dyes its river green. Green everything. Irish green is particular. The green of rainy, fertile landscapes, of fields that stay green year-round, of the Emerald Isle. That green is national pride, is cultural identity, is remembering homeland even when far away. Green as belonging, green as the color of a people and a place, green as identity you can wear. Green energy, the future's color. Green energy refers to renewable power sources, solar, wind, hydro, geothermal. That green promises a sustainable future, energy that doesn't deplete resources or damage ecosystems. The phrase green energy uses color symbolically. These energy sources aren't literally green, but they represent growth without destruction, power without pollution, technology aligned with nature rather than opposed to it. Green energy is aspiration, is the future environmentalists hope to build, is technology trying to work with ecological systems rather than against them. That green is hope made policy, is engineering seeking harmony with the planet. Whether green energy can fully replace fossil fuels, whether it can scale fast enough, these questions remain. But green energy as concept, as goal, as direction, that green points toward survival, toward futures where human civilization and natural systems coexist. Your green world. Think about the green things that matter to you. Perhaps the tree outside your window that changes with seasons. The green of a favorite place, a park, a garden, a forest path. The green eyes of someone you love. The green shirt you wear when you want to feel grounded. Green surrounds you even now. Maybe green in this room, plants, fabrics, objects. The green beyond your walls, grass, trees, leaves. The green in your refrigerator, vegetables, fruits, herbs. The green of currency, of screens, of indicators showing things are working properly. You live in relationship with green,
breathing oxygen that green plants produce, eating food that green photosynthesis created, finding calm in green spaces, navigating by green signals. Green has been essential to human survival since before we evolved into humans.
The greens all around. We've explored 60 facts about green in depth, but there are so many more greens. The green of tennis courts and soccer fields, green olives on trees, green apples crisp and tart, green peppers in gardens, green grapes on vines, green beans snapping, green peas in pods, green herbs in kitchens, green bottles of wine, green parrots in rainforests, green snakes in branches, green lizards on rocks, green dragonflies hovering, green grasshoppers jumping, green caterpillars munching, green moss on logs, green ferns uncurling, green bamboo growing impossibly fast, green seaweed in oceans, green camping tents in wilderness, green garden hoses coiled, green army surplus, green road signs pointing directions, green chalkboards in classrooms, green pool tables, green poker tables, green exit signs glowing, green LED indicators showing power, green recycling bins waiting. And personal greens, the green blanket from childhood, the green car you learned to drive, the green house you passed every day, the green dress for a special occasion, the green of a place you felt at peace, the green that means something only to you, the green of a memory, of a moment, of a feeling. Your life is full of greens, each one serving purpose, each one carrying meaning, each one connecting you to this color that makes life possible, this color that transformed Earth from barren rock to living planet, this color that produces the very air you breathe.
And so, our journey through green comes to a close. We've traveled together through 100 facts, from ancient caves to modern screens, from the smallest molecules to the vastness of forests, from the hands of artists to the rhythms of nature itself. Green has revealed itself to us as more than just a wavelength of light. It's a thread woven through human history, a presence in your daily life, a bridge between science and soul. As you drift now toward sleep, let these stories of green settle softly in your mind. Tomorrow, when you see green in the world around you, in the sky, in objects, in moments of your day, perhaps you'll notice it differently. Perhaps you'll see not just a color, but the centuries of meaning, the natural wonders, the human connections that color carries. If you've enjoyed this journey, there are more colors waiting for you in the Colors of Life series. Each one has its own story to tell, its own secrets to share, its own way of helping you find peace at the end of the day. But for now, simply rest, let go completely, and know that green, like all colors, will be there when you wake, painting your world, connecting you to something larger, reminding you of the beauty that exists in the simplest things. Thank you for spending this time with me. Sleep well and dream in color.
Thanks for watching. And as always, if you want us to cover a topic you like, leave a comment below. If you enjoy this video,
Consider giving it a like, and also subscribe to our channel so that you always know when the next video is released. By doing this, you help us not only grow, but continue to make content just like this. Thank you.